This is the Mystery Writer speaking, and welcome to the show. This is a bit of an impromptu video because, well, first of all, I had my first ever book signing not too long ago, and I managed to sell all the copies of the book that I had. Well, yeah, there was only like 7 copies of the book for sale. They sold out fairly quickly, and I am very pleased with that. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I sort of stumbled upon a blog that sparked my interest. It's a blog by someone named, I believe they were called Theater Mistress. Yes, Theater Mistress. Yes, their name was Theater Mistress. I found them on Facebook, and apparently they reviewed my book on their blog. The blog is titled gzingarden.wixsite.com/myliterarysoiree. She even reviewed my book on goodreads.com, which I highly appreciate. Now, of course, I will be showing screenshots of this while I'm talking about this. I'm going to read some of the things that she said. As on her blog, she actually went into a lot of extreme detail about what she liked and what she didn't like about the book and the various stories and poems and even the cover itself, which I deeply appreciate, because this is the kind of stuff I want to see. I want to see people react to my book and let me know what they thought of it, because you cannot, and I repeat, cannot improve as an artist, a writer, illustrator, whatever, if you don't take criticism. And it can be hard. You're going to have to swallow your pride, but eventually you'll get there. So anyways, on her site, she has my book under macabre, and it's actually kind of interesting because she has it listed alongside the likes of Edgar Allan Poe, Anne Rice, Phantom of the Opera, Dracula. It's actually really cool. So yeah, let me go ahead and read you her overall review of my book and then go into the various stories and stuff. I've already read a little bit of it beforehand, but then I got really excited and I really wanted to do a video about it, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so for the book itself, she said, a genuinely creepy collection of psychological horror. Never really thought of it as psychological horror, but okay. Perhaps a bit too much adult language, but if you're okay with that, I would highly recommend this one. It would go nicely in your Halloween collection, surely for the cover alone, or next to your other horror books. Okay. I can agree with the adult language thing. It can be a bit off-putting, but I tried to make it sound realistic. And if Stephen King has taught me anything, people like to curse. Then again, I've worked in a factory. I've worked in a factory, and again, people often curse a lot. So I don't know. Maybe it's just my work environment. Anyways, she even did a review of the cover. Isn't this the most disturbing thing you've ever seen? Okay, so interesting story about the cover. 2 things. One, the cover is actually a homage to Five Nights at Freddy's. It's actually based off a piece of advertisement for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. You see Bonnie's head coming out of the shadows, hollowed eyes, and all that. Super creepy. That's the reference that I gave the publisher. 2, this cover was freaking annoying to deal with because, oh, geez, the publisher and I, we went back and forth on this for like a good 3 or 4 months. I originally wanted a jawbone with the skull, and I wanted a lot more detail with the like it coming out of the shadows, dust particles, and all that. But they just told me that it was graphically impossible. So we went back and forth on it. We tried other ideas, and eventually we settled on this one. And I have to say, it came out better than I expected, and I love it. I love the cover to bits, and I'm glad that she gave it 5 stars, or amethysts, or purple diamonds. Are those purple diamonds? Weird. I don't remember seeing purple diamond in Steven Universe. But anyways, then she goes into the various different stories. First up is Haunted Mountain, something straight out of Supernatural. I will admit, I do like that show. That is a really good show, especially in the earlier seasons where it was much darker and scarier. Eventually, it just got too tween for me. But yeah, anyways, I loved it. Perhaps a bit too much swearing for my own personal taste, but it can be ignored easily. It is quite an unnerving one to read right before bed. Now, where did I put Bobby's phone number? And she also gave Haunted Mountain 5 purple diamonds out of 5. And then we go on to Cigarette Butts, where she says, "This was more upsetting to me. My father passed away." Wow. Wow. Real? Wow. What a coincidence. Wow. Wow. Huh. That's a weird coincidence. First off, I want to say I'm sorry for your loss. My father passed away from lung cancer, so it was upsetting, but that was no one's fault. Other than that, it was well written. You saw the ending coming, but it wasn't quite what I had expected. Well, yeah, I could see that because I really wanted the whole idea of the body turning against oneself to be illustrated within the ending. That's what the whole skeletal being made of cigarette butts and cigars uh, means. It's like it's the body shutting down, and yeah, I'm glad you picked on that up. I'm glad you picked that up. So we go with the first poem, which is Monster or Man. I like this one quite a bit. I am sure it would be loud and clear to a lot of people what it means. Yeah, well, yeah, I believe it is quite the. It's not exactly a head scratcher. You know, it is fairly simple with its what it's trying to convey, the message that it's trying to convey. Oh yeah, okay, great. Another 5 diamond one. I like that one. All right, so we go on to I Am No Stranger. This one is disturbing, and I might suppose something that parents should think about. 5 diamonds. Wow. Thank you for that one. This one's not particularly one of my favorite stories, but I'm glad people are enjoying it. I really am. And speaking of which, we go into the missing child poster. I like this one a lot, and so too would many others. Revenge at its utmost best. Yeah! I love that. I love the way you put that. I love it. I love that. Revenge at its utmost best. I love it. These reviews so far have been straightforward but to the point, and I love it. This one so far is my favorite. Revenge at its utmost best. I love that. I love it. All right, then we go into something that is more personal for me, Sunshine into Darkness. This one brought yet another tear to my eye. It happened to me as well. Wow, really? Wow. Oh, wow. You know, it's interesting, going out there and actually talking about this kind of stuff. And you find that it's actually relatable. And a lot of people have gone through stuff like this with what I detailed in Sunshine into Darkness. And it's actually interesting because, some of my cousins have actually read the poem and they agree with it 100%. Although I do have to say, I do have some mixed feelings about the poem now. It's still my favorite poem in the entire book. Don't get me wrong. But an aunt of mine died back in February. And yeah, her death hit me a lot harder than I thought it would. And it really does seem like that aunt of mine really had a lot of guilt about what happened. So, it's good to know that not everyone, tried to, pretend that it didn't happen. And it really did seem like these events in my past, in our past, really affected her a great deal. And she wanted to help mend the family before she died, but she never had the chance. By the time that she was ready, she died sooner than anyone expected. But we're gonna live on, and we're gonna her daughter is gonna live on for her, and she's been very very good about this. She's been that cousin of mine has been very brave, and she's been doing her best to honor her mother, and I'm sure she would be proud of her. I really do think so. But I do like your idea of, it happened to you. I mean, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that it happened to you, but I do like how you related to it. And yeah, this is happening to someone else. I like that spin that you put on it and that review. And another 5 diamonds. I like that. Chocolate Blood. This one is great for Halloween and going on my autumn read list. Mm, I love it. I love it. Yeah, then again, Chocolate Blood is one of my favorite stories. Ah, I love that story. That one just turned out so well. And then, yet again, another 5 diamonds. I'm enjoying this so far. Okay, okay. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. And then we go on to one of my favorite poems, Mr. Sweet. Would also go well for Halloween. Well, then again, Mr. Sweet is more of an attempt at trying to make a creepypasta character. There was a time in my life in where I tried desperately to make a the next big creepypasta character, the next Slender Man, which is actually interesting because the Loud Death is next, which is interesting because Siren Head ended up becoming the next um, Slender Man figure type thing. And I originally had the monster in The Loud Death called Siren Head, but I had to change that for obvious reasons. Anyways, on to The Loud Death. I have never been in a tornado, and after reading this, I never want to be. Plenty of earthquakes, though. Okay, so 2 things. One, I have never been in a tornado, but I've probably been within a few yards of a tornado. This was back when I was living at my parents' place. This was back when I was like my teens. I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I rose out of my bed. I sit up and I look over to my right, and my bedroom window, it's white. The wind is beating on it, and you can hear nothing but hard rain and just the blowing of wind, and it was insane. And I could do nothing. I didn't even get out of bed because all you could do is just follow the noise. You didn't see the tornado, but you hear it. It Everything that they said that a tornado sounds like, yeah, it's exactly that. It does sound like a speeding train coming towards you, and it's insane. And I just watched a tornado pass by the house, barely passing by the house. It was insane. It was probably a good few yards away from hitting my bedroom. It was insane. And two, interesting thing that you mentioned earthquakes because one, both of my parents actually lived in California for a time back when they were kids, back in like the 60s. And my mom especially remembers the earthquakes. Like one time she walked down the sidewalk, she didn't even notice an earthquake or something like that. And two, I actually slept through an earthquake once. Despite the fact that I live in Tennessee, yes, we've had earthquakes, But at the same time, there was a day in where I just woke up. My sister, one of my three sisters, she comes into my bedroom, slowly opens the door. She's covered in a blanket, and she asks, "Norris, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah. Why? You didn't feel that? Feel what? The earthquake. What earthquake?" Yeah, I literally just slept through the whole thing. Wow. Okay, so next up we got the Crow Man. I may never look at my crow friends the same again. You have crow friends? I mean, the guy on my back and the Crow Man over here on my back, yeah, he's not that friendly. Although he's very clingy. Anyways. Oh! Mmm, that's interesting. Mmm. Okay, so we got the first story. That's interesting. The first story not to get a 5 diamonds. Interesting. And it's the mannequin. It's actually my mother's favorite story. I think I lost the idea of this one. Whether it was supposed to be positive or negative, I can't quite tell. Do you mind further elaborating on that? I don't quite know what you're saying there. I don't really have much to say about that one. Okay. I guess she was a little confused. Well, it was told through multiple points, third person, first person, etc. I guess she got a little lost. Not entirely sure what she meant by that though. So further elaboration is required there. Next we go into the Song of Cernunnos. Sent me online, 5 diamonds. That's it. Kind of anticlimactic. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. I like this one. Agoraphobia. And it says, "This is one I will highly push onto some of my friends. 5 diamonds." Ah, great. I like that one because agoraphobia is one, again, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. And finally, oh, we got another 4 diamond one in Surrender. Another one I didn't quite get. All right, fair enough. Wait, is that it? You're missing one. How are you missing one? Theater Mistress! Gee, you're missing one! You're missing one! Hold on. Hold on. I'm going. I'm going. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Coming back. Coming back. And I'm back. Okay. You forgot about the bonus story. You're not even going to talk about the bonus story? For shame. Regardless, I really appreciate you talking about the book on your blog. I really do. This was a lot of hard work, and I'm planning on working on some more stories. Hey, you know what, Theater Mistress G? Uh, I also have a DeviantArt account and a Wattpad account where I post a lot of my stories you can read now for free. And you can even give me as much input as you want. I am always looking for proofreaders uh, to help me improve some of my stories. So any help you can give me would be deeply appreciated. And oh, by the way, anyone watching this, give Theater Mistress some love on Facebook or her blog. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Don't forget to pick up a copy of Nightmares in the New Order. I mean, this literary lover gave all but 2 of the pieces within this book 5 out of 5 diamonds. I believe you can take her word for it. This has been the Mr. Writer speaking, and until next time! Spooky, spooky.